Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Jaden Flowers. I'm a senior at North Carolina State University, major in recreational sports management with a minor in sports coaching from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm here with Coach Benny Kissimmee, head track coach of Philip Berry of Philip Berry Academy Technology, located in Charlotte, North Carolina, and here's Coach Benny.
Yeah, that's me. What's up, Jaden? What you been up to, man? You good?
You doing good? Okay. I got a few questions for you.
Yes, sir.
So,
Talk to me.
okay. So, first question. Can you tell me about your background and how you first became involved in track and field?
Strange. Oh. So, uh, I ran track in high school, myself, so I pretty much ran track my whole life. Um, so it's something that I've always been into. So obviously, I enjoy the aspect of being part of a team. Um, so I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I enjoy doing track. So because I wanted to be part of a team. So that was one of my biggest things.
Hmm.
Obviously, the competitive side of it was definitely on the top. Um, and just being able to compete, be out there, being with my friends, being out there with my guys, my coaches. So that was one thing that I was really interested in. So yeah, definitely that's how I really got into track.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, question two. What motivated you to become a coach, and how has your coaching journey led you to Philip Bavaria Academy Technology?
Being a coach is just about mostly wanting to give back. I think that I've always saw myself as one of the guys that was always want to help others.
Hmm.
Me coaching, to me, it has always been more about just coaching. It's always been about giving back, making sure you set up the young ones for the next, for the future and stuff like that. So trying to help as much as you can. So that's been the biggest thing for me as far as coaching. Um, so that's
Okay.
really it. Yeah, and obviously me being a coach at Barry,
Hmm.
it's a full circle moment because I actually did graduate from Barry. So
Right.
started as assistant for years and then eventually got promoted to head coach. So it was a full circle moment, just being out there, build a program from ground up to where it is now. So it's
Okay.
definitely a
Got
proud
it.
moment for me.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So, question three. Okay. So who were the biggest influences or mentors in your athletic or coaching career?
Uh, One, the biggest, I would definitely, Coach Brown, the previous head coach.
Hmm.
I mean, he's like the biggest mentor. Like it's a guy that I could always talk to. I could talk to him about anything. So I was his assistant. He really took me under his wing. He taught me a lot of stuff, beyond just track, just understanding how to deal with athletes, um, how to set up practice, how to, individualize, all that kind of stuff. So Coach Brown has definitely been the biggest mentor of mine, obviously. Um, Even beyond Coach Brown, definitely my old high school coach, Coach Collins, who's also a
Hmm.
great coach. She was also one of the biggest influence, you know, people that really inspired me to become a coach and just kind of do what I do
Okay.
and the level that we're doing now.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Question four. What experiences from your own time as an athlete do you bring into your coaching style today?
Energy, man. I was always the energy guy. I was always the fun guy.
Right.
So I always want to bring the energy. So
Right.
I'm very enthusiastic. I got so my energy in the sense of like, uh, hey man, let's get to work. You know what I mean? So
Right.
because you gotta be able to bring it in every time. So that's what I bring. I'm very intense. So that's why I want to bring that intensity into the team. It's kind of trying to build that competitive, um, like nature. Just trying to bring it in within the team and making sure these guys are competing and really pushing each other to get better.
Hey, sounds good. Okay. Well, question five. How would you describe your coaching philosophy?
Uh, so I'm big on my coaching philosophy has always been 100% healthy, 80% in shape, right? So what I mean by that is we train to run fast, right? So training to run fast is you got to be healthy, right? So we don't put our whole emphasis on, hey, let's get in shape, let's get in shape, let's get in shape, because those things come in, right? So I'm big on being healthy, right? So I'm big
Right.
on athletes doing what they need to be able to do in order to get the result that they're striving for. So, and then just community, man. I'm big on community, making sure that we're able to be there for each other, um, embrace each other through hard times and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
those are pretty much my biggest philosophy, right? So, um, being, you know, okay, holding each other accountable,
Right. Hmm.
so that's the biggest thing. Um, so I mean, for me, that's pretty much it. Because I believe that, we train for more than just track. We train you guys, I
Right.
train athletes for life. Because track is something that's
Hmm.
going to stop. But the skills that you're going to learn through being part of a track team is things that you
Right.
can take beyond track.
Right. Okay. Okay. Question six. So what values do you try to instill in your athletes, both on and off the track?
Uh, is accept change, accept change,
Right.
and gotta be accountable for yourself and accountable for each other. Accountability is something that travels with you. As long as you can hold yourself accountable, you can hold each other accountable. Those are things that's gonna help you once you get out there in life. When nobody cares about what you look like, nobody cares about how you feel, right? So you have to be able to adapt
Right.
to changes. So once you are disciplined, discipline carries. You gotta be accountable, you gotta be
Right.
disciplined, because if you're not disciplined,
Hmm.
you're gonna become a slave of your
Right.
dreams. So we don't want that. So you gotta have discipline. Discipline
Right.
is number one for me. And definitely accountability.
Right. Got it. Mhm. Okay. Question seven. Okay. So how do you balance discipline and encouragement when working with student athletes?
Uh I think it's just all about knowing who you're training. Because certain kids you can get on them and they'll take it just
Right.
fine. And certain kids won't take it well. So it's all about training the athletes, right? So you don't
Hmm.
want to train
Right.
the athletes, you want to be able to train the athletes. So knowing how they're responding to how you're coaching them and then adjust from there. So I think just understanding who you're coaching is the biggest thing.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Question eight. Okay. So what qualities do you believe make a great track and field athlete?
Uh Somebody who has a big heart. Um somebody who's not afraid to hurt. So if you're just willing to go out there and try stuff, I think you make a great track athlete. Because at the end of the day, it's not always about who's going to run the fastest, who's not going to run the fastest. I think it's all about who's willing to go out there and do the work that everybody isn't willing to do. So as long as you have the heart, as long as you have the mental, I think that those are all qualities of people that can make really good track hits.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So question nine. Okay. How do you help athletes set realistic yet challenging goals?
Well, so, because I think when it comes to goals, you really have to be careful because athletes will set this big goal, and once they don't get to it, then they feel disappointed. So what we do is get straight. Um, so you set a big goal and you set sub goals, like what I mean, like
Right.
goals. Okay, so if your bigger goal, so for
Right.
example, run the 400 meter as a
Hmm.
guy, and your goal is to run 47. So your
Right.
goal is to run 47. Well, you got to have goals, because it's steps that's going to take, for you to get there. So what's your first goal? Well, if you run 50, you got to start winning small. You got to start small. You got to start embracing the small wins, right? So you're not just going to go
Right.
to the 47 overnight. So understanding once you run 49, okay, that's a win. Then you can start progressing through there. Okay. So that's pretty
Okay.
much the biggest thing. So understanding the small wins count. Small wins count. Small wins count. Have a bigger goal, but have smaller ones so that way that's gonna set the tone for where you're really trying to go to the biggest goal.
Okay. Got it. And then last question is, what is your vision for the track and field program at Philbury? At
Uh,
Philbury.
I we want to be the best.
Right.
So I'm not really shy about that. I do want to be the
Right.
best. I want to compete against the best. I want to train the best athletes. So our goal is we want to be able to win state championship because Barry, that's what we build our legacy on. Track.
Right.
Track has been the backbone of our school. Um, and we want to be state champion. We want to be
Right.
we haven't won a state championship as a team in a while. So that's one of the things that
Right.
I want to bring back, because our school has always been about track. We've been a track school for pretty much for a while. So, and that's one of the things that I do want. But also at the end of the day is just making sure that our athletes have the opportunity to be able to compete at the next level. So, we want to be able to win state championship, but we
Right.
also able to make sure we set athletes up for success so that way they are able to go to the next level and follow their dreams.
Okay, that sounds good. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Benny. You have a good
Yeah,
rest
no
of your day.
problem. Anytime, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye bye.
All right.